Okay, I know when you see this picture right here, you're probably laughing because this chainsaw was not designed for what I'm about to do with it. I just want to kind of see, I really bought this for limbing in the woods because it's light. It weighs 8 or 9 pounds without the battery. And I thought, man, I could, you know, put a couple batteries, bring 3 or 4 batteries and just run a little generator, a little 1500 watt generator, charge my batteries while I'm limbing. You know, what's it cost to run a generator? A gallon of gas for 8 hours on a small generator. Anyway, and then keep my batteries charged while I'm limbing with it. And of course, I'm using a bigger saw to cut trees down. So these trees, you know, these trunks here are, you know, that's 15 or 16 inches right there. Some of these are 12. That's probably 12 or 13, or, you know, that's 9, 10, 11. That's about 11 at the biggest part. So this is the 5 amp hour battery. Let's just run it and see what it does. I'm not expecting it to last real long, but I don't know. Let's just experiment here. Okay, just put bar oil in it. I got the 5 amp hour battery in, and it is 3 green. So, you know, it's got a chain brake, which is kind of nice. Although usually when you drop the power on these, the chain stops pretty quickly. But still, little release or little safety mechanism there. So it does kind of spool. It does kind of spool down. Chain brake does work. You can see the blades. This is a 12 inch and it's barely fitting through that, so all right, made a pile of sawdust. And of course, this is, you know, beetle kill pine. This is nothing, this is pretty dry stuff. It's not hardwood by any means. But sometimes we're rolling around in the mountains in the Jeeps and, you know, gas chainsaw, it'd be nice to just break this out with a couple batteries. And how many logs can I cut through on a battery? If there's a tree laying across the trail and we can't get down it, we can't drag it out of the way, we're going to end up cutting it. Will this do the job? You know, I can get the 16 inch. It is heavier. I'm sure the motor requires more battery power too, so I don't know. Let's just see what it does. Still showing 2 bars, so let's keep going. Well, it's showing 1 bar, but it's saying that's it. Make sure it's not the chain brake. Okay. And this is brushless, you know. It feels a little warm, but it's not like hot right there. So the saw doesn't feel hot. And we ran it pretty good, you know, pretty steady. So I thought the chain would loosen up, but it really didn't loosen up. That's about where I had it. So yeah. Okay, let's count how many we did here. Oh, look at that. That's basically a log. But it didn't quite do it, did it? All right. So I don't know what these average. We could count them all, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's 9 inches right there. That's probably 10 or 11. So they might average, you know, 10 or 11 inches. I can count the cuts, but it looks like a few for 1 battery. You know, I think that could, even a tree that's twice that big, if you have to cut it in 4 places, I mean, you know, on one side of the trail, you cut it on one side, step over the tree, cut it on the other side, and then go to the other end of the tree, cut it on one side and cut it on the other side. You know, it only reaches 12 inches, but it's, you know, it's, it might cut through a 24-inch tree. And that's really what we worry about, is these beetle kill trees in the forest around here in Colorado, is they're falling all the time now. And so if you're going down a trail, you got to have something to clear the trail with, you know. So is this going to be adequate? You know, it's light. If I carried 2 or 3 batteries with me, just threw them in the back and carried them with me, carried extra chain and an extra bar in case I pinch a bar, I think it's, I'm pretty happy so far. I think it would do the job. And it did make a nice pile of sawdust here. So what I do like about this bar is very narrow and the kerf is very narrow. So it takes a lot less energy to cut than if the teeth were a lot wider. Of course, it takes more energy to cut. So, all right. So we got all those minus that. So is it going to be good for limbing? I think so. Continuous use though, you know, when you bump the trigger, it takes a few seconds for it to, couple seconds, I shouldn't say a few, a couple seconds for it to spool up. And so if you're just trying to bump it and then hit a branch real quick, it might not do it. We'll have to try it out. But so far I'm happy. Okay, back on the bench, you know, brushless. Oh look, there's even a gauge there. You can see your oil and you can actually see through it. Wow, that's a treat right there. That's nice. Used about half the oil with all those cuts, which means it's lubricating the chain nicely. Yeah, adjustments are easy. Loosen this. That loosens the tension on the bar itself so that you can adjust the bar forward and that way to tighten the chain, or this way to loosen it. And of course it has little adjustments here. This says plus, which is probably tighten, and that's probably loosen. So we can loosen it a little bit here, maybe a turn, half turn, and see how much looser it is now. Let's just tighten it the other way. And there, it's tighter. You know, I would be happy with that movement right there. The things aren't coming out. Oh, they're almost coming out. Let's touch more on it. But you know, that feels pretty good. I'd be happy with that. And then just cinch it back down here. Super easy, toolless. I didn't lift the bar up. We traditionally lift the bar up, right, to put tension on it, because that's where the bar is going to move. If there is any play in the bar, once it's tight, it'll move up. So, you know, the chain brake works. That's nice. Okay, and on the box, you know, the advertisement on the box says this 12-inch chainsaw will cut 90 4x4s, 90 4x4 posts on one 5-amp-hour battery. So, you know, that's a lot of cuts. I wanted to really see what it would do on thicker trees. And, you know, the beetle kill we're going to be cutting are going to be dry. They're not going to be green. Most likely the trees aren't going to be green anyway, that we're trying to just cut just to get out of the trail. And, yeah. So, you know, I've seen this on sale around Christmas time at our local Big R for $99. And I almost bought it then. My wife and daughter bought it for me as a gift. I think they paid more for it. They won't tell me what they paid for it, but the bottom line is, even for regular price when it's not on sale, this is still, I'm impressed. I'm going to carry it in the Jeep for sure.